Politics and show business don't mix. I want to thank Janice for writing to Saving America. She wrote, "My dad is 84 years old, listens to your Saving America show on Saturdays. He wants to know what the doctor feels about the battle between Rosie O'Donnell and President Trump. He loves President. I love Rosie. We'll be listening to your show for your thoughts. First, we love to hear from our audience. Glad your dad is listening. Second, I'm a longtime fan of the great stand-up comedians. I remember Bob Hope, my all-time favorite, Johnny Carson, the king of late night. Then there were controversial George Carlin, Joan Rivers, and Don Rickles. Many, many more. Somehow they managed to walk the line between politics and show business. Bob Hope was unquestionably a conservative. Carson walked the line carefully, popping both sides. Rickles didn't care who he speared. Somehow a switch went off, not sure when, but sometime in the late 1990s into the last 2 decades. Comedians on the left decided to make a point of only spearing one side. The famous mock beheading of Trump by alleged comedian Kathy Griffin is perhaps the most egregious example. Sorry, folks, this is just not humor in anybody's book. This was not just, of course, comedians doing this, but others. Hollywood famously took a far left turn with many award shows. It turned into political assaults that were inappropriate and certainly offensive to many in the home audience. In fact, audience numbers for award shows has been dropping parallel to the politicization of these shows. I stopped watching the Academy Awards in the mid-1990s, for instance. I boycott movies with some of these folks, most notably George Clooney. I liked Rosie O'Donnell due to her early stand-up routines and early movies like A League of Their Own and Sleepless in Seattle. I did not know she was gay until I researched this piece, but that is her choice and does not impact my opinion of her. She had a successful talk show from the late 90s into the early 2000s. I never watched it, but she became more visible politically, I guess, in the last decade. She, like Clooney and others, turned me off. The fact that she left the USA for Ireland is not a plus from my standpoint. However, again, that is completely her choice. That's cool. Apparently, the feud with Trump is almost 2 decades long. The reports I read relate to when Trump owned the Miss USA pageant. In 2006, when the winner was found to have a drug problem, he required her to attend drug treatment to keep her crown. This seemed like a reasonable approach, but apparently Rosie, who was on The View at the time, went after Trump for this, and of course, the famously combative Trump fought back. Frankly, I really don't care. My advice to Trump would be to run the country and stay as far as possible from feuds like this, including the recent one with his #1 supporter, Elon Musk. Hey, life is short. In 2012, Rosie had a heart attack and Trump publicly wished her well. That seemed like a peace offering, but the two have kept at it. Again, this is not my thing and I do not follow this. However, Trump made reference to fat women and following some press questions cross-referenced Rosie. In my opinion, this was hurtful and inappropriate. Rosie would have no reason to be respectful to him and the ball keeps rolling. More recently, Trump has threatened to pull her U.S. citizenship. Janice, if I had a vote on this topic, I would ask Trump to lay off anyone in Hollywood and elsewhere and focus on the good of the country. Such feuds help nobody. This is Dr. David D. Schein. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of Saving America. Remember, a new Saving America show is aired on the Brushwood Media Network every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Listen on any of the 16 network stations, Apple or Google mobile app, Apple CarPlay, TuneIn, Smart Speaker, and all smart TVs. Find more information at the brushwoodmedianetwork.com. Please be sure to join us each week. We welcome and love your feedback from our growing audience.